Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name's Wraith, and today I'm going to be going over the FAQ that was just released for Middle-earth Strategy Battle Game, and it was released, August 2020. So, it depends when you're watching the video, but it's just been released for me. And I'm going to be going over my thoughts on it, and pretty much everyone else's thoughts from what I've seen. Is it a good FAQ? I think it's quite a good one. I can see some problems with it, but I can see some really positive things. And I want to talk about how it might affect said armies that are involved in this FAQ. So, first of all, there are two main big changes that have happened, okay? And then a few other minor ones, okay? We can cover the minor ones quickly. So the minor ones, it goes over pretty much objectives. I like the fact that they covered objectives. So objectives count as open ground pretty much. You can walk over them, walk through them, stuff like that. That just makes it nice and clear, so I don't have to talk to my opponent and go, are we counting this as, the typical conversation. That doesn't matter anymore. They made it very clear, black and white. I like it. The next, and it's not tiny, I guess, but it's not massive. Basically, they've gone over ring bearers or, invisible models in general. So, if you make a courage test because you can't see them, and obviously you minus your courage each inch that the charge is, and you fail, does that mean you can't charge anything else because you failed your courage test, or can you keep trying to charge something else? And they answered yes. Unlike a courage test to charge a terrifying model, this courage test is to simply see if the model can see that invisible model. So, what does that mean? Well, they fail. It means they can't see the invisible model, and they continue the rest of their turn as normal. Though they may not attempt to charge the invisible model again that turn, which is fair enough, otherwise you just keep spamming charges. Okay? You can't finish your movement on top of an invisible model. That involves... you can't force them into combat, stuff like that. And you do ignore enemy control zones. That's how I play it anyway when you're invisible. Just other little tweaks. Can you shield whilst being immobilized or transfixed? No, you cannot. And can you put the One Ring on when you've already been charged? No, you're too busy fighting that orc that's charged you. Or Numenorian, I guess. I don't know. You could be charged. You could be Gollum. Who cares? Heroic March. If you declare a Heroic March, you can't be compelled or commanded to charge an enemy model because you've marched. It counts as you marching for that turn. They just get to take over moving your model for you, basically. So yeah, minor changes. And we'll go into another little minor change, basically. And it involves one of the cheesiest tactics I've ever heard of. But before we get to that, we'll get to the slightly less important one, but it just clears some things up. Basically, you've got the Uruk-hai demolition team, so you've got the big bomb that kills everything. But what happens when the bomb is dropped? Can it be dropped only touching one of the bomb carriers, or must it be dropped if touching both? When the bomb is dropped, it must be placed touching both of the bomb carriers. Okay. The only exception is if one of the bomb carriers is slain, in which case the bomb is dropped, touching the remaining bomb character as close to where the slain bomb carrier was. Can the demolition charge be placed overlapping a model's base? No, obviously. I would have ruled that no anyway. And you can roll successful fate rolls, prevent each wound caused by it, not just the whole thing. Okay, so if you take 3 wounds, you have to pass 3 fate to take no damage. And when the demolition charge detonates, do you measure it from the center of the charge or the edge? And you measure it from the edge. Okay, right. Now, we've got some really, really cheesy stuff. Okay, really, really cheesy stuff. Basically, what people used to do, and I'll give some backstory on this in case you don't know, is you'd play Isengard, you'd play the Assault on Helm's Deep Legendary Legion, where you get to reroll the bombs detonation roll and stuff like that. And early game, when the Isengard player is in a winning position, so they're sat on all the objectives, and the game ends at 50% or 25%, whatever, they'll have a big blob of Urukai around their bombs, and they'll detonate all their bombs and kill their own force. So it makes them 25% or whatever, and they'll win the game because the game ends, and they've got more points because they've got all the objectives, or they've got the relic, or whatever. Now, I'm quite fortunate because I haven't come across anyone who's tried this on me. If I had, chances are I just wouldn't play against that person again. Because I'm sorry, I know you want to win in a tournament, but don't be that guy, okay? Because that's just dumb. Why would you want a 20-minute game like max? What's the point? Okay? If you're doing that, then whatever. If you need to do that to win, that says everything I need to know about you. Okay. Obviously, that's someone having a go at me who does that tactic. Just kidding. Anyway. So, yeah, that's what they used to do. Now, you must do it. You can only detonate the bomb, or roll to detonate the bomb, if 2 enemy models are in range of that bomb. Okay? So, 1 doesn't matter. 2, yeah, you can do it. No enemy models nearby, you can't detonate it. So it's to stop that. I mean, they can still do it if your opponent chucks 2 models at them. But that sounds good to stop that play. But it sounds really bad for me. Not that I play Isengard, but I'm thinking low model count armies or anything. So Candice chariots, it counts as 1 model. Candice chariot charges into a bunch of Urukai. The bombs sat there looking at this chariot charging towards him. Guess what? You can't detonate it. It only counts as 1 model. And I can guarantee the Candice player is not going to be chucking 2 models at you near that charge, because they know you can't detonate it. Along with other things, like, I think anything that counts as 1 model, you can just charge Treebeard straight at them, and he only counts as 1 model. Yeah. So that's the problem I can see with it. And I can see people not bringing it as much. Okay, so that's that point. That's one of the big things. The second big thing, and it's split people in 2 sections. Some people think it's fantastic and needed to happen. Other people are a little bit devastated by this. I am in the first category. I think it needed to happen because I've played against it, and it was ridiculous. It was absolutely insane. Basically, Gamlin, okay? You've got Gamlin, right? Rohirrim guy with the big banner. And what his banner did was a bit redonkulous, okay? The Royal Standard of Rohan was a 50-point upgrade for this model, okay? Gamlin of Rohan is 55 points, so he's 105 points with this banner, okay? Pretty cheap, pretty cheap. 115 if you give him a horse, because why not? If you're going fully mounted, he's probably going to have a horse. And what it does is it's a banner, firstly. Additionally, any Rohan models, whilst within 3 inches of the Royal Standard, at the start of any turn, that have no might remaining, automatically add 1 might point to their store. This hero cannot take a hero's might beyond the starting level, and Gamla suffers no penalties for carrying the Royal Standard of Rohan. That's ridiculous, okay? Because the people I've played using this banner, and I'm not having a go at them, because why the hell would you not do this? Okay, I get it. They'd have, like, you know, Eomer and Theoden, and name a hero, and they'll have it near this banner. And they just absolutely chew through all their might straight away, because they don't care. You charge into a thing, and then they'd all just, like, heroic combat and kill half your army, and then do it again, or strike or whatever, have no might, but they're near Gamlin, so they get their might back. So they've got infinite might. They've got Mighty Hero, basically, for as many heroes as you can squeeze into 3 inches of this banner. Now, the FAQ says it only affects 1 hero per turn. That is fantastic, because that strategy was insane. Anyone who denies that it was absolutely ridiculous. For 105 points to be able to do that, you play Rohan, obviously. But, yeah, like I said before, I don't blame people for doing this, because I would have done it, especially at events. But, yeah, it was absolutely ridiculous, and it needed to be nerfed. It has been nerfed, and he's not rubbish, because 105 points is about right to give another hero a point of might back when they run out each turn. So, yeah. And he's still a banner as well. he's still a banner, so he's still useful. He's still a captain. He's got 3 might. 3 might for 55 points is cheap as chips. Fight 4, strength 4, defense 6, 2 attacks, 2 wounds, courage 4, 1 will, 1 fate. Yeah, he's got heroic mark, heroic defense, expert rider, horse lord, and he's sworn protector Theoden. Yeah, you could still stick him near Aemir, who's going to be your guy who's just kicking butt everywhere, and just keep him topped up on might. He's never going to run out. You can still have a hero that never runs out of might. So yeah, that's my 2 cents on it. I think it was needed. Do comment in the section, do comment if you don't agree, because I'd love to hear if you are part of Team A, yes, it needed to be nerfed, or Team B, where nope, he was perfect the way he was, nothing wrong with it, and he's now unusable. Yeah, bringing up another point. Will you still use him, Rohan players? Are you still bringing him in your lists? I don't see why you wouldn't. I think he's still really good. But I don't think, the only downgrade he's gone is he's not a must include, which I like because it gives you more options. Okay, I've got a Rohan force, well, the starts of a Rohan force. I don't have Gamlin, but I've got the other main heroes and a bunch of riders. So I am planning on doing Rohan, but I like the fact that I don't have this model that is a must take. Yeah, plus screw painting that banner. Yeah, no thank you. I like painting, but not like that. So yeah, anyway, that's the basics of the FAQ. Let me know what you think of it. Do you agree with the FAQ? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Let me know. And if you want to talk more in depth about it, do join my Discord server in the link in the description down below. And we can have a proper chat about it. Or just Middle-earth strategy battle game in general, or other games. Anyway, thank you ever so much for listening to this video. If you enjoyed it, do hit the like button so I know people like it when I cover Middle-earth strategy battle game news. And if you're feeling especially saintly today, do consider subscribing. But if you don't do either of those things, I still hope you have an absolutely fantastic day, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.